Remina, how did you identify S? S is, someone says S is a housefly. Do you think that is correct?
No.
Yes, Condoleezza. No. Why isn't?
Soldier
Yes?
termite. The soldier
S,
termite.
S is
The
a soldier.
termite.
Okay, good. Why can't we identify S as a housefly? Someone said S is a housefly. Someone and one of you said no. Why can't S be a housefly? Natural.
It is wingless.
The housefly is wingless.
No, a soldier termite is wingless.
It doesn't have two main body parts.
The housefly has wings. See, yet the component that we are dividing to get the main body parts is wingless. So S cannot be a housefly because a housefly has wings. I said you mute yourself. Mute. I don't want to unmute, to mute everyone, sorry. So mute yourselves. You only unmute if you want to talk to us. Okay, so S is a soldier termite. Why? It is wingless and it has three main body parts. That means we get one feature. If you said S is a, sorry, you cannot say S is a soldier termite because it has three main body parts. That alone won't work because we have others like the housefly, which also have three main body parts. See? So it is a combination of reasons, factors, because it is wingless and has three main body parts. Or it has three main body parts and it is wingless. Good. So far we've identified the T. We've identified T, S, and C. We are left with H and G. Identity of H. How have you identified H?
Butterfly.
H is a butterfly.
No. It's a housefly.
H is a housefly.
Yes. Yes.
Why? What reason would you give? Yes, Ayebare?
It has tail tears and a proboscis.
Only those two.
It is winged.
And it is also winged.
It is also winged. Good. So we are saying H is the housefly because it is winged, it has a proboscis, and it has whole tears. So we can't base on only one. We have to base on all the reasons. In other words, we are following the path. So we must have a complete path. We can't just look at the end of the path. We have to look at the whole path. And then lastly, G, I think the only one we haven't identified, the this grasshopper won't work. Some corrections here, just a small correction. Not grasshopper. Butterfly. Okay, so some correction there. I've made some correction. I hope you've seen it. Instead of having instead of grasshopper, it should have been butterfly and not grasshopper. Okay, and the last one, Chirabo, you would now become
a butterfly.
You would now become butterfly.
A butterfly.
Wonderful. And the reason would be it is winged.
It is winged, has a proboscis, and lacks tail tears.
Lacks whole tears. Very good. If I had left there if I had left there grasshopper, do you think that would also be correct? If I identified
No, it wouldn't, because it doesn't have a proboscis.
Wonderful. The grasshopper doesn't have a proboscis. So it should have been butterfly and not grasshopper. That is very good. Now I want us to look at something else connected to this. But if you've been able to follow this one, then I believe this one should also be simple. I said you mute yourselves, please. So I have another flow chart. Oh, this one is not actually a flow chart. It's the linked type of dichotomous key. Just a moment. So I have number one there. The problem now is with people that are using laptops. But I believe everyone can zoom in. Eh? Can everyone do that? Are we all able to zoom in? No?
Yes.
So since some people are not able to zoom in, let us, okay, that is number one. We are trying number one. I hope everyone is able to see the shared screen. This figure is showing 6 arthropods that carry diseases, or they carry disease-causing organisms, and such organisms are called vectors. So we're in the pictures there, in the photo, in the picture, we have we have 6 different vectors, but those vectors have been identified by letters. So there is vector A, vector B, vector C, D, E, and lastly F. We have an identification key, the one we normally call a dichotomous key. We have an identification key just below the organisms, the vectors, the pictures of the organisms. Now, you'll need to zoom in order to see those names, some of the names clearly. But when you look at that key, it is giving us the identity of the vectors. But the key is using the real names of the vectors. The photos, the pictures have been identified or marked by letters or with the letters A, B, C, and D. But the key is identifying the organisms by name. What we are doing is reading the key, follow that key as you look at the picture, and then you match the names of the organisms, the names of the vectors with the pictures. In other words, at the end of that simple activity, I want you to tell me that the name of A from the chart is this one. Sorry, from the key is this one. The name of B from the key is this one. The name of the key, sorry, the name of D from the key is this one. Is that activity understood? Understood?
Swaleh, not got anything.
No.
You've not got anything. You even swear. You don't need to swear. Okay. Do you see number one?
Yes.
Yes.
Try to interpret it on your own. Try to interpret it on your own. Read it up to this table here. The table is not complete, so don't follow so much the table, but use the key to identify just that part. You'll complete part the table down later after having identified the organisms. Just that. So I'm giving you how many minutes? Maybe 3 minutes. So 3 minutes just to identify the organisms, the vectors by name. In other words, you're matching the letter in the picture with the name in the key. Just that. 3 minutes.
Sir, yes. You're saying we should look for the names of the
Class ended.
Who is this one asking if class ended? Have you finished the work?
No.
And you're asking if class ended? Is it possible? Is it possible for us to get the names of the organisms, match the names in the key with the letters on the pictures?
Yes. Who is it?
Yes, Shahida?
Yes, sir.
Yes, Shahida, your hand is up. Yes.
For A, I got pediculus.
So you, Shahida, for you, you're done with all of them.
Yeah.
Okay. So if Shahida is done, I think we should all be through. So
No.
Shahida says, no. The one who was asking whether the lesson was done is the one that hasn't finished. Okay, maybe one more minute for those that haven't finished. One more minute for those that haven't finished. Okay, that is enough time, I think. Let us see. Okay, I'll start with Shahida because Shahida finished a long time ago. Shahida, you were saying you identified A as?
Pediculus.
Shahida? You identified A as pediculus. Why? How did you
Because
come to the conclusion?
Because A doesn't have any wings, so I went to 4.
Okay.
It has 3 pairs. It has 3 pairs of legs, so I went to 5. And it has 3 pairs of legs, so it went to 5.
And it has.
And all its
And it
legs
has
are
3
the
pairs.
same length, which is
That is
identified.
wonderful. That.
All pairs of legs are.
Okay, that is very good, Shahida. So A is pediculus. How was she able to identify A as pediculus? She started with level 1. And level 1 has 2 statements: wings present, wings absent. When she looked at A on the picture, when you look at the picture for A, you don't seem to see any wings. So she chose wings absent, and that one is sending her to 4. When she went to 4, there are 2 statements there: has 3 pairs of legs and has 4 pairs of legs. When you look at A, you see 3 pairs of legs. So it couldn't have been that one. So she went to 5. And on 5, there are 2 statements: 1 pair of legs shorter and all legs same length. When you look at A, all legs are same length. So she identified A as pediculus. That is good. Did any other person identify any other of your choice and you take us through the steps?
1B.
1B.
Yes.
1B, by 1B you mean, what do you mean? We are identifying organisms. We've already identified the A. So I need another person to identify another. Yes, Condoleezza?
E, I described E as Musca.
E is Musca. Take us through the steps.
Okay, this is because like the wings are longer than the abdomen, and they have given, what's its name? There's this thing, it's called Musca. Why it's Musca domestica, that's why I got it like that.
Oh, does that mean for you started at level 2? You didn't read level 1?
No, it's not
Yes.
like that. I just saw
You
it,
take-
you know.
You just saw E and then you saw that the wings are longer. So by simply reading that statement, only that statement, that is how you identified. You didn't read any other statements?
Think so.
Tried, but your procedure is not very fine. The identity could be okay, but the procedure isn't very fine. Okay, let me first have, yes. Louder, yeah. B, someone is identifying B, identifying it as?
In part 1.
No, E.
Identifying
Mean
what?
E.
The name. Okay, someone is identifying E, B as Anopheles, okay? Anopheles, and the steps?
Because
Wings are present, so you go to 2.
its abdomen is long and narrow.
Its abdomen is longer and where is longer and narrow?
3A.
But I'm seeing wings present sending me to 2, and you're not reading any statement at 2, and you're going to 3.
Wings shorter than the abdomen.
So when I look at it, I go to 2.
I go to 2.
When I go to 2, I see wings shorter than abdomen and wings longer than abdomen. When I look at B, its wings are shorter than the abdomen. So I go to 3.
In 3, you go to A.
And then at 3, when I look at that specimen B, the abdomen is long and narrow. So I identify B as Anopheles. Do you agree with this person?
Yes.
Okay, that is good. Agatha? Agatha, which one are you identifying?
C.
Yes, Agatha? Okay, Agatha is not following.
I'm identifying C.
You're identifying C, and you're identifying it as which name? Which name did you choose for C from the key, Remina?
Teacher, I identified D as Ornithodonus. Is it
Ornithodorus. It is RUS, Ornithodorus.
Yes.
Okay, take us through. How did you do that? Which steps?
I first went to level 1, wings absent. Then it tells me go to 4.
Yes.
When I go to 4, it has 4 pairs of legs.
So we are saying that among those that don't have wings, it is only D that has 4 pairs of legs. So we identify it as the Ornithodorus. Okay, that is good. Let me have Chirabo, Maimuna.
Me, I'm identifying D.
D is already identified. Someone has already identified. I think it was Remina. She has already identified that one as Ornithodorus, and I think we agreed with her. Hey.
Teacher,
Yes.
teacher, I don't think D is Ornithodorus. I think D is Pulex.
Pulex.
You think it is Pulex?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, take us through the steps we see.
So
at statement at level 1,
level 1, it
wings
said
are
absent, then I went to 4. And it said
Yes.
it has 3 pairs of legs, so go to 5. So when I went to 5, it has 1 pair of legs shorter than the other pairs.
So D has the 3 pairs of legs, not 4.
Yes, it has 3.
It has
Then when
3.
you go to 5, 1 pair of legs is shorter than the other pairs, which is 2 legs.
Oh, okay. That is very correct. That is very correct. So it is not true that D is ornithodorus. That means the ornithodorus is another one. Okay, that is good. That was terrible. Okay, another person, Peruth. Peruth, your hand.
Wings absent. 4.
Oh yeah, I'm identifying A.
A was identified.
A.
F, okay, F. Okay, F for food. Okay. And what's the name from the key for F?
Periplaneta.
Periplaneta. How did you get to that conclusion? Take us through the steps.
First, go to stage 1. Wings present.
Okay.
Go to 2.
At level 1, you went with option A. The wings are present, yes. So you went to 2.
Wings shorter than abdomen. Go to 3.
You went with option A for 2, okay?
Then
Continue.
then 3. Abdomen short and broad.
Okay, and then for 3, you went with option B, and you've identified it as periplaneta. That one is okay. Another person, Remina, yeah? Yes, Remina?
I'm identifying B.
B. B, okay.
Wings present.
That is
Go
1A.
to 2.
Yes.
Wings shorter
Then
than abdomen.
The wings, when you look at the picture, they are shorter than the abdomen. So you went with the A, statement A for level 2. Yeah. You go to 3.
Abdomen long and narrow.
And when you look at its abdomen, it is long and narrow. So identity becomes the Anopheles. I think there's only one. Okay, that's good. There are 2 so far that we haven't identified. I don't think we've identified C or E. Yes, someone identifying C.
See, if I go to
Name.
C.
Name. Give us the name first.
Damn.
my name
Ornithodorus.
Okay, someone says C is ornithodorus. Okay, the steps.
so you go to 1,
Eh.
wings absent.
For 1, you choose alternative B, wings are absent, so you go to 4.
When I come to 4,
When you go to 4, you have 3 pairs and 4, and when you look at specimen C, the picture, it has 4 pairs of legs. So at level 4, you go with option B, and you identify it as the ornithodorus. Just one more to go, Chirabo. I think E hasn't yet been identified.
So E, I went to the first level and wings are present. So I went to 2.
Okay.
Wings are shorter than abdomen. So I went to 3. Abdomen is short and broad, which is periplaneta.
For E. When you identify,
Teacher,
there's something wrong there with your steps, I think.
I think
Yes?
E is. I think E is Mosca.
Okay, why? How did you reach that
Yeah.
conclusion? At level 1, which statement did you go with?
Wings present.
Present. So you went with option 1A. Then you go to 2. At 2, which one did you follow?
Wings are longer than the abdomen.
Wings longer than the abdomen, because clearly when you look at E, the picture E, its wings seem to be longer than the abdomen. They are spread out, but if they are folded over the body, they would actually be covering the abdomen. So they are longer than the abdomen. So identity of E becomes Mosca. Okay, I hope that has been very simple for all of us. Has it?
Yes.
Very simple. Just one more thing to do on this number. Now that you've identified those organisms, match the letters with the names in the key. Do you think we are now able to complete this table? Part A has been done for us. I think we've also identified A as pedicellus. Is that true? So A, completing the table has been done for us. A is pedicellus. Which steps did we go through to identify? At level 1, we chose option B. That is why you see a tick under 1B. That one, I think, sent us to level 4. And at level 4, we went option A, where you're seeing a tick under here. And then option A of level 4 sent us to level 5. And at level 5, we chose option B. That is why the ticks have been placed where you see them. Do you think you can also, because we've already identified, do you think you can also, can you complete that table for the rest of the organisms?
Yes.
Yes.
Someone says B, first give the name. Which name is go? Okay, so identity of B, we say it is Anopheles. So name of the arthropod of B would be Anopheles. Where would you put the ticks? You would put a tick under 1A, okay? Then we'll go to 2A. Then we'll go to 3A. So a tick under 1A, a tick under 2A, and a tick under 3A. Then the name is Anopheles. Another person, Nachibala Sar. Organism C, we've already identified C. Nachibala. Okay, Nachibala is not.
1B.
One under, okay, for C, you're saying 1. First, give the name. Give the name of C.
Ornithodus.
Okay, Ornithodorus. Okay.
Ornithodorus.
Ornithodorus. Okay, then the ticks, where are we putting them?
1B.
1B.
And then 4B.
And then 4. Okay, good. Only 2 ticks. Then D. That is good. D.
Ornithodorus.
Ornithodorus.
D. Teacher D.
Yeah, we are on D now.
Pulex.
D is Pulex, okay. That, where are we putting the ticks?
1B.
1B, okay.
And 4A. 4A. And 5A. 5A.
5A, okay, good. Another one. Okay, we are left with E and F. Okay,
E is Mosca.
E is Mosca, the name, yes.
1A.
1A.
2B.
2B.
A. And
Yep.
it's done.
Yeah.
Okay.
3B.
Do we continue?
3B.
Do we have to continue?
No.
No. Yes.
No.
The word statement
On
to
Mosca,
Yes.
so you
we
stop there.
don't.
We don't continue. Okay, lastly,
F is Periplaneta.
Planeta, the steps.
1A.
1A or F. Okay. 1A.
Yeah.
Okay. Then
2A.
2A. 3. And 3B.
and then 3B.
B. Yeah.
Very good. You can clap for yourself. You can clap for yourselves, everyone that has contributed. Okay. Now, this is the last one for today. This is the last one. It is to do with now people that cannot scroll, people that cannot zoom. This is what I can do. I can't enlarge beyond that because then you won't be able to see the rest. Look at number 3. Are we all on number 3?
Yes.
What are you? Do you know what you are? Are you a fish? Are you a mollusk? Are you a crustacean? Are you an insect?
Everything.
You're everything. Who is an amphibian here?
Condolence.
Condolence is an amphibian.
Yes.
What are the characteristics of amphibians?
They have manuals.
Amphibians spend their larval stage
Most
in
of
water.
their time is in water. Their
They
larval
have
stage in
larval
water.
stages, they undergo metamorphosis, and the early part of their life is in water. Do you also spend a part of your life in water?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So we are going to read. Number 3 has 2 parts. What
Yes.
are you? What are you?
Follow the branch forms.
I know some people already know what they are. But now here we even have
Mammals.
someone says we are mammals. Now that person already knows man is a mammal. But what are you? Follow the branch points at 1, 3. You know, a flow chart goes on branching. That is why it's called a flow diagram. It's flowing. You have branches, just like you have a tree. The trunk supported by the ground is 1. Then it forms branches. Each of those branches forms another small branch, and each branch, so it is branched. So here we've been given the branch points at 1, 3. We've been given the direction, and then identify yourself as a mammal. In other words, as you read those branch points, you're also able to get characteristics of man that make man a mammal. Is that okay?
Yes.
Now, after identifying man as a mammal from the flow chart, I also want you to name 2 additional characteristics of mammals. Additional means they are not given here. Additional. But over the course, I know you've come across some characteristics of mammals that may not necessarily be here. Some of the characteristics may apply to all mammals. Some of them may apply to most mammals, may not necessarily all mammals. And then C, In what ways are humans special mammals, if there's any way? To answer part B and part C, you may need additional resources. If you have fast internet, you can Google what are the special features of man as a mammal, additional characteristics of mammals, something like that. I'm giving you 5 minutes. Look at that flow chart, follow the branch points that are given here, and identify man as a mammal. As you read the branch points, I also expect you to read the other branches as well. So you're not only reading the branch points that lead us to man being a mammal, but you also read other branch points, such that if I ask for identity of the mango plant, you're now able to give me the branch points.
Teacher, are we still on the other previous one?
No, we've now moved to another thing. This is something else. It's to do with the identification keys, because this is a branching key, the flow chart, but it is now different from the first one we started with, no, the second one we followed the first one. I'm giving you 5 minutes, starting now. Those that are able to zoom, you can zoom in to make the letters bigger. Those that are unable to, yes, this is the time to use those specs.
Larry, go out. Go out, Larry.
You guys, I think the lesson has ended.
This thing is so nice and easy. I'm happy that I'm understand.
The lesson has ended.
Okay. So when you follow the branch points 1, 3, 4, 8, 9, and finally 11, man is a living organism. But there are many living organisms. This flowchart puts them in two categories. There are living organisms that are made up of a single cell, the unicellular organisms, and then living things that are made up of many cells, the multicellular. Of those two, man is under the multicellular. That is why from level 1 we are from branch point 1 we are going to branch point 3. Now, the multicellular organisms have also been put into two categories. Those that have cell walls and those that don't have cell walls. Man has cells without cell walls. So we couldn't have taken a branch point 12 because that one is saying cells with cell walls. Man has cells that do not have cell walls. So at that point we are taking cells have no cell walls. Those would be the animals. Animals are also grouped into three. I think we have four. Those ones have been put into four categories. Organisms with a hard exoskeleton, then segmented body with shetty bristles. They are like the bristles on your toothbrush or the brush. Soft body with no limbs. Organism has internal skeleton. When you look at those options, those divisions of the animals, exoskeleton, no, man doesn't have an exoskeleton. Segmented body with bristles, no, that's not man. Those are worms. Soft body with no limbs, that's not man. Those are soft-bodied mollusks. Organism has internal skeleton, endoskeleton. Okay, and that is where man is. So man is a vertebrate. Now, vertebrates have been put into two categories. Those that have a skin covering on, those that don't have a covering on the skin, and then those that have the body covered, the skin covered. The skin of a man is covered by something. So at that point, we take that option of skin covered. Now, there are many things that may cover the skin. Amongst them, we have scales and then maybe fur. So that branch of organisms have body covered with something is also divided into two. Scales on the skin and then no scales. I think there isn't any man with scales. So we will take the option of no scales on the skin. If the organism has no scales on the skin, there are two options. It could now be covered with feathers or covered by fur. Again, I've never seen a man with feathers. Those would be birds. So we take the route of fur on the body. So that is how you say in a movie, a man with feathers.
Yes.
That one stops in the movies. It's not real, yeah? So man has a body covered with fur. As long as that classification is involved, man becomes a mammal. Why are we saying man is a mammal? You should have a number of reasons. One, man has fur. Man doesn't have scales. But man's skin is covered by something. That is fur. Man has an endoskeleton. Man has cells without cell walls, and man has many cells. If you were to identify a spider, which branch points would you follow? If you wanted to identify a spider, which branch
It
points
has
would
four
you follow?
pairs of legs.
It has
two pairs of legs.
Hey, you would just start at that point. Would you just start at that point? Wouldn't you have to read other?
Made up of many cells.
Made up of many cells.
No.
Good. Someone says no. She's actually correct.
It's a living organism made up of many cells.
Good.
That's far.
That's far. Which spider has fur? Spider?
Yeah, you say the spider.
Yeah, spider. Yes.
Cells have a nucleus.
Where is that one?
Yes.
Where are you getting that from? I don't seem to see. I don't seem to see it on my computer. Are you using a separate document, a different one?
This is organisms.
A spider is.
Had exoskeleton.
We can't start. We can't start at that point. We have to start at the very beginning. The spider is a living organism.
Yeah, that's number one.
So it has living organisms are now put into two categories. So which of those two? Where would you put the spider? It has many cells.
It's made up of many cells.
That's three.
Now made up of many cells is made up of many cells.
Of many cells.
Good. Then that one is divided.
Cells have.
Yeah, so we go.
Cells have wall.
Cells have no cell walls. Good.
No cell wall.
Organism
has internal skeleton, non-segmented body. Those are vertebrates.
Okay. Is that where a spider?
No, I think.
No. Teacher, organism has had exoskeleton,
jointed limbs, and segmented bodies. We go to anthropos.
It has to be organized. Eh? So from cells have no cell wall.
Internet is so bad.
To 5, which is organisms had exoskeleton,
jointed limbs, segmented body, and
then from there we go to
the Wi-Fi on.
Two body segments.
So do you that is very good. But do you see that we can't just read one statement and conclude?
Yes. We are still continuing.
We've actually, because after exoskeleton, we go to 2 body segments. Yeah, that is where the spider would be. But what I wanted to emphasize is we don't just read one point. A spider has 2 body segments and we stop there. There could be other organisms that have 2 body segments, but we have to follow. That is why we had to look at branch point 1. Then after branch point 1, we took what? We took no, we didn't
have no cell. We branch point 3.
Then from 4 we took 5. No, 3. 3. No, we didn't take 3. 3 is sending us to cells have a cell wall, obvious cell wall, which isn't right.
Cells
have no cell walls.
Have no cell walls. Okay. So 1, 3, 4. Okay. Lastly, lastly, where would you? Lastly, where would you? Okay. Lastly, if you were to identify a bean plant, what points would you follow? Bean plant.
Number 1, of course, it's living organism.
Number 1 will take
made up of many cells.
Okay.
Cells have
Cells have obvious
Cells have
Made up
cell
of
wall.
many cells.
an obvious
Made-
cell wall.
Okay, good.
Made
Then
up
after that,
of many
Cells
cells.
contain chlorophyll.
Cells contain chlorophyll in chloroplasts.
okay, good. Then after there,
Stem, leaves, and roots.
good. And then
Seeds produced.
produce.
Seeds produced.
Wonderful.
For
Let me
example,
also give this one. If you had a bacterium, which branch
Yeah.
points would bacterium?
Cells have no
And
cell
teacher.
Yes,
wall.
bacterium would
Made
start
up
with
of many cells.
a bacterium
Made up of many of single cells.
is a bacteria made up of many cells.
A single cell.
Yes.
Single cell.
No, it's made up of a single cell.
Bacterium is a single cell, so you would take this side, okay?
2.
Then
Cells
we-
have an obvious nucleus.
cells have an obvious.
Yes.
Bacteria, do they have an obvious nucleus?
I don't think it has.
No.
No, I think it has an obvious nucleus.
Remember, you looked at prokaryotes and eukaryotes. Are those, you remember
Yes.
those words?
Yes.
And I
Yeah.
think okay, you can actually see prokaryote there. So prokaryotes don't have an obvious nucleus.
Nucleus.
So bacterium you would take made up of one cell, single cell, sorry. Then cells have no obvious nucleus.
Nucleus.
Okay. Oh, and there's this part also. Additional characteristics of mammals. Did you find any?
Yep.
Like which one?
There
Four-chambered
won't be.
hearts.
Have a
They have
four-chambered.
mammary glands.
They have
Mammary glands.
Four-chambered hearts.
four-chambered hearts.
They said additional. Mammary glands are already on the table.
Mammary glands are already in the table. Where are they?
Yes.
Teacher.
Oh,
Teacher,
mammary
and
glands.
and hair.
Teacher.
So we cannot talk
Mammary
about the
glands are
fur.
already there.
Teacher.
Mammary glands, fur already
The
there.
hair
We
on
don't
the
talk about.
mammary glands.
Teacher.
Yes.
Teacher, I have an answer.
Yes.
Teacher, have four-chambered hearts.
Four-chambered hearts, I think. Okay. It's okay. Yes.
Teacher, what about they have a neocortex region in the brain which specializes in hearing and seeing.
They have a
A neocortex region in the brain.
cortex region which specializes in
Hearing and seeing.
seeing and
Hearing.
hearing and seeing.
Yep.
Okay, since we've taken the four-chambered heart, I think we shall also take that one because we look at the heart. And it's not only mammals that have the
Teacher, they use lungs for breathing.
lungs for breathing.
They have specialized teeth.
Specialized teeth. That one is better because it is only mammals. That one is much better than the rest that you've given. Four-chambered heart, others have. The cortex, others can have. But it is only mammals that have specialized teeth. These are others. Good. Any other?
Have well-developed brains.
Well developed. Okay. We can also take that one, the four-chambered heart. Another one.
Other
Heterodonts. They are heterodonts. Heterodonts, the same as have specialized teeth. Okay. How about them having an external ear, the pinna? Like this thing
The
I'm
car,
touching.
the cartridge.
Yeah,
Isn't it
it
only,
is.
not cartilage, this is called the pinna.
Yeah.
The pinna. The pinna is part of the pinna is part of the outer ear. So it is only mammals that have the outer ear. The rest of the organisms, like the birds, amphibians, they have the middle ear and the inner ear, but they lack the external ear or the outer ear. So if you ever look at an animal and you see this thing, without even looking at any other feature, just know that is a mammal. Okay, lastly, in what ways are humans special mammals? Did you find out any
Yeah.
special? Martha?
Teacher.
No.
Teacher,
Yes.
can I try?
Go ahead.
When it comes to the types and diversity of microorganisms on our skin, the skin is the largest organ of the body and
Yes,
man's barrier to the external environment.
exactly. But it's the same with other animals.
Okay.
Do you think if you looked at a gorilla is also a mammal. Do you think the skin of the mammal isn't the largest organ of the body as well? Okay, try.
Yes.
Try. Are you ready? Are you ready, Mata? Okay, we are going to stop here. I want you to look for ways humans are special mammals. We shall have the answer. Chirabo. Okay, Chirabo. Okay. I want you to find out ways humans are special mammals. And in our next lesson, I want you to give me those ways you've discovered. Have many resources to use. In which ways are humans special mammals? Is that okay?
Yes.
Okay, so bye, and we shall continue with that.
Bye.